Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Health Revolution podcast. I'm Alyson, and I'm so excited. We're on episode 11 already, and it's been so wonderful to share with everybody here. Last week, I was talking about prescription medication and what we can do to prevent the need for being on prescriptions. And one of the big things that came up for every symptom from the common cold to cancer was to manage stress. And that correlation is so astounding to me that we can manage so much of our health just based on how we manage our mental health. Actually, stress we always think of as a mental thing, but it's also physical and emotional. There's three types of stress. So I could talk for hours, I am not even kidding, about stress. So today it's just a short podcast episode to help kind of get us into thinking about where stress has shown up in your life, what's wrong with it, and what we can do to manage it and to feel better. Okay. So I want you to imagine you are juggling a bunch of colorful balls in the air. Okay. That's mental stress. That's like having a million things racing through your mind at all times. My daughter, my 10-year-old is actually really good at juggling, and it astounds me that she's able to do this. And so maybe you feel like, oh no, that's really good. I'm able to juggle and I'm really good at juggling, but it also kind of makes your brain feel like you're in a circus act. And so um, it's like being overwhelmed with a lot of deadlines or exams if you're in school. It's trying to remember all the things on your to-do list. But really, a lot of times we don't even realize our brain is saying, hey, there is a lot going on in here. And it's kind of overloading my brain to be juggling these all the time. And so I do have some ways that we can talk about what to do about that in a minute. But I wanted to also talk about emotional stress. So if you are in, let's say, a roller coaster, which I don't like roller coasters, I'll just be clear. I have ridden some roller coasters in my life, and it's nothing that I really enjoy, but maybe you like the roller coaster of emotions. I really don't. It feels like I'm going a little bit crazy when I'm having so many ups and downs, but that's what emotional stress feels like. It's those intense feelings, okay? Like when you're on a roller coaster, that can be thrilling if you like roller coasters. But when we have that emotional stress, we are feeling that in our bodies. And when we feel that constantly, that's when it becomes chronic stress. Okay. So the emotional roller coaster, that's like you're dealing with relationships, heartbreak, loneliness, all of that that goes on in our brain as well. And as we know, if you've been listening, our brain is responsible for the way our body feels, okay? All the time is how our body functions. It all starts in the brain. So our emotions are in our body, but they're caused by thoughts we're having in our brain and how we're interpreting the world around us. So the last piece of stress I want to talk about is physical stress. So physical stress is like your body is running and running and running like a marathon, but you just really need to take a nap. Okay. It's when you're physically pushing yourself to the limit, like working long hours, doing intense workouts, and not getting enough rest. Your body is probably shouting at you, like, hey, can we slow down? I need a breather here. I put my body under physical stress intentionally sometimes. Like 2 days ago, I was on a hike for the 4th of July with my the older part of my family, my 10-year-old daughter, my 14-year-old son, and my 16-year-old daughter. her friend, and my husband. And this hike was amazing. It led us to the most beautiful location in Arizona, to this amazing waterfall, crystal clear waters, this blue turquoise glowing cave. There were actually a few caves that we got to explore, and it was just like this piece of paradise just down the road from my parents' cabin, actually, which I could not believe that it's been tucked away. But then to get out of where we were down in this valley. Oh my gosh, the hike up was 4.5 miles of just practically straight up, very little relief of flat terrain. And that put our bodies in physical stress. It just did. And that's okay. And that's what I want you to get from this podcast is it's okay to have stress. Okay. We experience stress. It's meant to be a part of our human experience. We experience physical stress when we're, at certain points in our life, mental stress, emotional stress. Obviously, if we're dealing with the loss of a loved one, or like I said, a heartbreak, we're going to feel emotional stress, and those are okay. Did you know that you can experience all these types of stress at the same time, and they can actually intertwine and pile up on each other? For instance, if you're feeling mental stress about work and all the things you need to get done, you might start feeling emotional stress and feeling like you're obligated and feeling like you're behind. And you also feel like I need to spend time with my family, and then that makes me feel guilty. I mean, there's so many emotions that you can pile up upon the mental stress. And then that emotional stress almost always will make you physically stressed, like physically tired and worn out and drained and even sick, as I talked about last week. So what's happening when we're feeling stress is our body releases a hormone called cortisol. You're probably familiar with that term. Cortisol is our stress hormone. And cortisol is great, actually. It's like a superhero. It's our bodies. Like when we have intense things going on in our life, it's like, hey, I got you. Don't worry. We're going to take care of it. And it will get you through those stressful moments. So I'm sure on the 4th of July, my body was producing a lot of cortisol to get up that mountain because I needed that energy source to give me that boost. And that's what it'll do. It's like a natural espresso for your body. So it revs you up, pumps up your muscles, makes you feel fired up, ready to go. Okay. You're facing a tough challenge like a deadline or an exam or something like that. Cortisol is going to help you stay focused. It's going to help you stay on top of your game. It's amazing. There's nothing wrong with cortisol. But here is the thing. Too much of it can become a bad thing for your body. So when you have too much cortisol and it's being released constantly, it can really cause trouble for your body. So I want you to think about like a car engine. I don't know much about cars, but I do know if there is smoke coming from the engine, and this has happened to me before when I was in Philadelphia. My car engine started smoking. I immediately pulled over and poured some water on it and just hung out until help arrived. But that's like cortisol, okay? Cortisol is like the water that's trying to pour some relief onto your engine, trying to keep it cool. But what happens is for us, if you're someone that is used to stress and you might feel like, yeah, I'm probably in that area where I have chronic stress, you don't pull over when your car is overheating. You just keep driving the car and you keep pushing it and pushing it. And like I said, I admit I do not know a lot about cars, but I do know if you don't pull over when it's overheating and take care of it, other things are going to start breaking down. I'm sure there's going to be a carburetor or a belt or something's going to start happening if you just keep driving that car It might even explode. Okay. But think about that with your body. So remember, cortisol is meant to be a short-term solution for those short-term bursts that you need to accomplish those things. It's not supposed to be this thing that you're, that's a long-term solution for handling your life. So when you have excessive cortisol, do you know what that does? It can lead to so many problems: high blood pressure, weight gain, mood swings, trouble sleeping, even just a weakened immune system. So like I said, you're more likely to get a cold or a flu, or even an autoimmune disease could be around the corner for you if you're not handling your stress very well. If you have excess weight gain, you probably have excess cortisol in your body. If you have trouble sleeping, man, go listen to that podcast last week, because I talked about people taking Ambien and how that's been prescribed to so many people and for sleep troubles, but really focusing on your stress and getting your cortisol levels down will help your sleeping. So many sleeping troubles are not caused because you have trouble falling asleep as much as you do your mind and your body are so revved up from the day that is not allowing you to come down. So, for instance, I coach a lot of clients on the keto diet. Okay, you know that, but it's not just for weight loss. It's a great anti-inflammatory diet. It helps to bring down your blood sugar levels, lower your blood pressure, support your immune system. It helps with brain fog, with sleep, with mood swings. But I have clients that are doing the diet that still struggle to get into ketosis, even though they're doing all the things the diet recommends. It's 75% fat, 20% protein, 5% carbs. They still have trouble getting into ketosis and reducing their blood glucose levels and losing weight, because diet alone will not solve your health. You cannot separate the mental and physical health. So that's what the program does. It addresses the mental health part in combination with the diet, because when you have excess cortisol in your body, everything else can be really hard. You're going to have trouble with your health, with your sleep, with your losing weight, all of those things. It all factors in. And really, like, just bringing awareness to this issue. Like, if this is resonating with you and you're like, yeah, I have chronic stress, there is so much you can do about it. And I just want you to think about where that stress is showing up right now in your life with your mental health and your physical health, or where it might lead later on. If you're like, no, I'm fine, my body's functioning perfectly. Think about, well, you probably have that flame started in your engine, and you might be able to drive it for another, I don't know, month or year until something is going to start breaking down. So how long do you want to drive that car until you pull it over and say, okay, I really need help here? Okay, so what can you do about stress? You're probably here thinking, okay, yep, I'm here. I'm still listening. I think I've got stress, probably chronic stress. So I have the 3 R's that I want to share with you today. And these 3 R's will help you with any emotion that you're struggling with, whether it's anger or desire for food. I coach on that a lot. But right now we're going to be talking about the 3 R's relating to stress. So first is realizing that you have stress. Is that simple? That is the first R. And can you do that? It actually takes people longer than what they think, because you have to acknowledge that you have stress or chronic stress before you can even move on to the next steps. So if you're there and you're like, yes, this is me, I acknowledge it, say it out loud. I have chronic stress. Ooh, did you do it? Did you say it? I have chronic stress. Okay, you've already gone through the first R, realizing and acknowledging that you have it. Well done. The second R is recognize. Recognize where your stress is coming from. We talked about already, you have emotional stress, mental stress, and physical stress. I cannot right now do like a one-on-one with you about what kind of stress you have and where it's all coming from. This is why you get a coach, okay? Because your coach is going to help you work through all of that. But I will give you one thing that comes up a lot, and that's emotional stress. Where is emotional stress coming from? Emotional stress is always coming from your thoughts about what you have to do. Okay, so if you're thinking, I have to do this, I have to do that, think about this. You don't have to do anything. I'm serious. You do not have to do anything. Now, people go, well, yeah, I have to make dinner. I have to take care of my kids. I have to go to work. I have to. No, you absolutely don't. There's people that don't take care of their kids. There's plenty of people that don't go to work. I've seen them. Now, you might say, well, yeah, but they get their kids taken away or they're homeless living on the streets. Yeah. Yes, they are. So, do you want that? No. Well, of course I don't want that. Okay, so you actually want to take care of your kids. You actually want to go to work. Well, yeah, because that's, that's the result that I want. We don't get to pick our results always, but we do get to choose how you want to think about your life. And if you're telling yourself, I have to do this, that is going to create a lot of stress. If you can flip that word, that one word, into I want to do this, it will make so much of a difference in your mental, emotional, and physical health. So that's just one tidbit with recognize. But like I said, that is a whole like a personalized coaching session to really recognize where all your stress is coming from. Maybe some self-reflection, checking in with yourself. But really, that's such an important second step, recognizing where your stress is coming from. And let me tell you, it is never coming from your job. It's never coming from your mother-in-law. It's never coming from your school. Okay. It is coming from how you're reacting to all of those things. That's a whole nother thing we want to talk about later. How you're reacting to the mother-in-law, how you're interpreting the demands of school. Okay. So what are you telling yourself about those things? Are you pushing yourself too hard physically because you feel like you have to in order for your job to keep going? Like if you're an entrepreneur, man, there can be a lot of pushing yourself too hard physically, working day and night trying to get your business going. Why? Like recognize that that's causing your body and probably your mind and emotions a lot of physical stress. Okay, the third R, we have realize, we have recognize. The third R is release. Release that stress. This is the doing part of the 3 R's. Releasing stress, equally as important as realize and recognize. Releasing stress looks like taking a nap. If you feel like you've been working too hard physically, it could be as simple as going to bed earlier, giving yourself that time to reboot your system. If you're not getting REM sleep, that can really cause so many problems, like depression, anxiety, illness, like I talked about last week. It can even cause psychosis if you're not getting enough REM sleep. So are you pushing yourself too hard? Take a nap, get better sleep. Release could look like connecting with nature, connecting with a friend. I love going paddleboarding this time of year. It's summer here in Arizona. It's very hot, but on the river, it's a good, like, I want to say 10 to 15 degrees cooler. And I just feel the energy of the mountains and the water and the creatures. I saw sea otters, or I guess river otters. Last time I was at the river, they were so cute. And I love taking a friend and connecting with that friend. And it gives me this energy. Like I feel the stress melting away and it brings me this renewed energy. And it's so powerful. But find something that you can do that's connecting, that helps relieve that stress. Some people like reading books. I mean, what do you like to do? What do you enjoy? Take a break and go do it. Go enjoy it. John actually makes a really great CBD oil that helps reduce cortisol as well. Of course, you have to do the other work, like all the other R's, okay, and the releasing, but the CBD oil actually helps reduce your cortisol levels as well. Meditation, oh my goodness. Let me tell you, what if I told you there's a magic pill out there that slows down your nervous system, reduces your cortisol levels, helps relax your muscles, helps you lose weight, and you can take it anytime, any day, any age. There's no side effects. Would you want that pill? I mean, last episode, I was talking about how people are wanting the magic pill that makes these problems that they're having go away, that makes their muscles relax, that makes them be able to sleep, that makes them be able to keep running at a high level. This magic pill is so simple, and you can do it right now, and that is breathing. Okay, breathing. Don't disregard breathing. Stay with me here. Breathing has worked wonders in my life, in my children's life, and there's so much research about breath work out there. But when you take slow, deep breaths, it's like hitting that reset button for your body and for your mind. It has a profound impact on your stress levels. It's like taking that mini vacation for your brain. So you don't have to always be going to the river in order to reduce your cortisol levels. You can do it right now. Are you driving? Are you at the gym? Are you at home folding laundry? What are you doing? Look at your breath. Sometimes I find when I'm feeling stressed, I do this like check-in, okay? And I'm doing the R's, the 3 R's, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my breath is short. Or sometimes I'm like, I forgot to breathe. Okay. Take some time to look at your breath and take slow, deep, intentional breaths. Do it right now. When your breath is shallow and rapid, that's a good sign that your body is in flight or fight mode, which is fine. Like I said, if you're hiking a mountain or you're taking a big test or, you're giving a big speech in front of 1,000 people, that will help. But if you're finding that your body is taking those short breaths a lot, okay, constantly, that's a good sign that it's time to slow down. And it's like pulling the car over and say, okay, car, we're going to take some time out to figure out what's going on and just breathe. Can you imagine if just if your car engine was on fire and all you had to do was pull over for 10 minutes and then you could get back on the road? You would do that. You would do that in a second. So do that for yourself. Take 10 minutes, just 10 minutes of deep breathing. It's going to send that signal to your brain that we're okay. We're not being chased by a bear. Chill out. Everything's going to be fine. And it really will activate your body's relaxation response. And the best part is you can do it for free. Okay. You can do it when, like I said, if you're in the car, if you're stuck in traffic, if you're at work, you can do it in the bathroom. You can take deep breaths anywhere you are, at school, anywhere. Let that stress just melt away. So close your eyes if you want to, if you're not driving. Just focus on that sensation of air flowing in and out, and feel that gentle rise of your body, breathing in, breathing out. And it's like you're going to tell your body, thank you for taking care of me. Send your body some positive messaging, okay? Like, thank you. You're amazing, body. And I want to take good care of you because you're a vessel for my soul, okay? So important. One popular method of breathing, I've read a lot about breathing. You guys are welcome to read all you want about breathing. There's the triangle breaths where you breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, and release it for 4. Okay, there's all sorts of breathing meditation apps out there. I've used Calm, I've used Headspace, but anything like that, if that's what you need, if you need like a guided meditation or guided breathing, those are so simple. But breathing is free, okay? You don't need an app. You don't need a pill. You don't need anything. It's free to all of us. But for some strange reason, we don't do it. We don't do it enough anyway. And we just carry our stress around all day, day after day. You know why? Because stress, this seems kind of crazy, but it's like become comfortable. It's like our comfort animal. Even though it's painful, stress has become familiar, and we actually wouldn't know what to do if we didn't have it. It's so uncomfortable not having stress that we sometimes create more stress. We put more stress on our mind or our body or our emotions because it's something we feel like is very normal and that we need. Can you picture that? Does that resonate with you, that stress has become a familiar blanket, almost like you're carrying this around on your shoulders because it's so familiar and you don't know what you would do if you took off that stress blanket, who you would be, how you would feel, how you would function. It is not wrong to de-stress. It's not. It's actually going to help you live longer if you can learn these techniques and apply them. You'll live a longer, healthier, happier life. I have my why today of why I wanted to share with you this stress episode. It's because it has been so pivotal in my life to learn how to manage my stress. And I'm 42, and this has only been probably in the last 3 to 4 years that I've been able to manage my mind and manage my stress and see my health, my emotional health, my mental health, and my physical health improve because I've been able to manage my stress. I have a different mindset about things that I need to do. I have a different mindset about how hard I want to push my body, how much sleep and exercise I want to give my body so that I can function at my best level. I want to live a long life. When I turned 40, it was a shocker to me. It was like that whole midlife crisis thing where I was like, I am just getting started with my life. I want to live a long life and I want to help so many people. And I can only do that if I help myself first. Taking care of yourself is never selfish. I want you to say that to yourself every day. Taking care of yourself, is the most important thing you can do, not just for yourself, but for your family, for your friends, for your coworkers, for strangers. When you take care of yourself, everything will change for the better. I promise you that. I'm going to see you next week for another amazing episode that's going to help you manage your mental and physical health. I'll see you then. Bye-bye. I hope you found value in what you heard today. If so, please follow us and go give us that 5-star rating. It really helps us reach more people that need to hear this message. Also, if you're ready to make changes to your health and well-being, go check out our Fat to Fuel program. Our coaching program empowers you to make healthy changes to your life one step at a time. Go to fattofuel.com or click the link in the show notes. We hope to see you there.